Police have an alert for people who live in rural areas. They've connected more arsons to someone who's been breaking into homes and setting them on fire.
A worker died when investigators say a trench collapsed on him at a Lexington construction site. What we've learned about the young victim.
Almost 100 workers at a Kentucky government building were sent home today after a massive plumbing problem.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. It is an alarming string of crimes targeting rural central Kentucky homes. Police say that someone is breaking into these homes and setting them on fire.
State police have now connected arsons at 4 homes in Jessamine, Fayette, and Garrett counties, and another fire at a home in Scott County could also be connected. Victor Puente has our top story at 6.
State police say they aren't certain that this fire is connected to those other 4, but they say it's a strong possibility. In each of those other cases, a home was burglarized and then set on fire. Investigators came to the home today to try to find the cause of this fire, but say they may have to come back tomorrow because it's still too hot.
You have a 3,300 square foot house that's pretty much burned up.
When firefighters arrived Tuesday morning, flames were shooting from the roof. The people who lived here weren't home when the fire started, but it's possible someone else was. Since Friday, 5 unoccupied homes in rural areas have burned in central Kentucky. 2 of those were in Jessamine County, the 3rd in Garrett County, the 4th in Fayette. State police arson investigators are taking those cases because they say someone burglarized those homes and set them on fire. State police came here today to see if this fire is connected to those other 4. They believe the person responsible is knocking on doors to see if anyone is home, then breaking in. The evidence here could lead to a 5th home on that list.
We're trying to preserve as much of the scene as we can. We're trying to keep control of the scene so we can examine all the components to determine the origin and cause and where it actually started.
Because of where these homes have been located, many of the neighboring homes are larger homes that may have surveillance. State police are asking anyone who does have video around the time that those fires started to look at it, to see if they see anything suspicious, and if they do, give them a call. In Scott County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The Kentucky Arson Task Force is offering a reward for information in these fires.
Friends are telling us he was a kind man who loved his family. Tonight we're learning more about a young father who investigators say died in a trench collapse. It happened this morning at a construction project along Todd's Road in Lexington. Officer Don shot this video of the scene from Sky First. Investigators say that 22-year-old Tyler Williams died in the collapse. Sean Moody has the latest.
We've learned that Tyler Williams was the father of 3 young children. A family member called him a kind, sweet human being. Now investigators are trying to figure out why this trench collapsed on him.
Tyler Williams was from Menifee County. He was married with 3 young children. Here along this stretch of Todd's Road in Lexington, Williams was killed.
It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty.
Ray Carter heard sirens outside and thought it was a car wreck. When he saw people digging, he started to put together what had happened.
The fire truck was on scene, and there was people down in the ditch trying to dig the person that's down there out, and the fire department made them get out in fear of the ditch collapsing on them. Sad. He's out trying to make a living like everybody else, and he won't be going home to his family tonight.
The coroner believes Williams suffocated under the dirt and gravel. Now we're told OSHA and the Kentucky Labor Cabinet are investigating, trying to figure out why that wall of dirt caved in, killing Williams. Lexington's assistant fire chief said they were looking into the stability of that soil.
I see nothing down there that would lead me to think it had been shored prior to our arrival.
We reached out to the construction company whose logo is on this equipment out here. It's the same company that Williams listed as his employer on Facebook. They told us the only person that can talk to the media there is out today. In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Also, firefighters told us the trench was about 20 feet deep.
Tonight, Lexington police have arrested a former bookkeeper for the Lexington Hearing and Speech Center. They say she stole more than $150,000 from the facility. 58-year-old Jan Malden now faces multiple fraud and theft charges. Monique Blair tells us what police say Malden did with that stolen money.
In December 2015, Jan Malden was let go from her position as a bookkeeper here at the Lexington Hearing and Speech Center because police say her position was outsourced. And it was after she left during a routine audit that the nonprofit discovered more than $150,000 was missing from the organization. Lexington police say 58-year-old Jan Malden worked for the Lexington Hearing and Speech Center from 2008 until 2015, and they say she was stealing money from the organization since 2009.
For personal expenditures, vehicle rentals, vacation stays, hotel stays, limousine rentals, things that obviously would not be consistent with the day-to-day operations of a nonprofit.
Police are still trying to figure out why Malden spent more than $150,000 of money that did not belong to her.
We spoke with her during her arrest on May 2nd. A 2-hour interview was performed. She did make some statements at that time. She didn't provide a clear-cut motive for what the expenditures were for, and that was something that we were hoping to get but didn't.
Today, the Lexington Hearing and Speech Center released a statement saying, in part, quote, "Despite the losses associated with this activity, the operations of the center are not and have not been threatened in any way," end quote. Now, police tell us because most of what Malden bought with the organization's money were perishables and rentals, not many items will be able to be seized or returned. In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Malden faces 7 counts of financially related felony charges.
It's been a pretty wet Wednesday across much of the state, and tonight we're tracking some storms. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at your forecast. Chris?
Kind of ugly out there across the Bluegrass State today, and yes, those thunderstorms developing right on cue this afternoon with some small hail with those, and still tracking a few into parts of southern Kentucky. Notice how the northern parts of the area beginning to clean up the sky just a little bit, though this little line of thunderstorms is going to cover the ground with up to marble-size hail from around London back toward the southwest into Wayne County and southeast from there. So folks around the Monticello area, storm is right on top of us, and especially just to our south, Powersburg over toward the Coopersville area and into the Burnside area and just south toward Sloan's Valley. That's where we're getting in on the most intense part of that storm. Shopville, we're in the clear now, but you get a little farther to the east toward London. Now we're seeing some of those showers and storms that are quickly zipping their way on into town. Mount Vernon looking to your southeast and seeing the light show that is ongoing. That extends a little farther to the northeast and likely to get some Peace-Eyes Hill, Stanton, Frenchburg, Moorhead. Lexington Metro, things beginning to calm down just a little bit as our cold front races its way into sections of eastern Kentucky. Chilly, cold air for this time of year coming in behind that. Notice the little bit of rain you see across parts of Michigan. Well, there's a chance that by tomorrow afternoon, we are tracking something similar setting up across central and eastern Kentucky. I will track that and the all-important Derby Mother's Day weekend forecast in just a few.
Tonight, Donald Trump is the only Republican still running for president. In the last hour, Ohio Governor John Kasich announced he's dropping out of the race. As for the Democrats, Hillary Clinton still has a large lead, but challenger Bernie Sanders isn't giving up. Tonight, he'll hold a rally at Heritage Hall in Lexington. That's where Garrett Weimer joins us now live with a preview. Good evening, Garrett.
Still about an hour now until Sanders is expected to speak, but this crowd is packing Heritage Hall right now, and they're ready to go. People here are showing their support in all sorts of ways. The shirts and the necklaces even are, as always, creative. Supporters tell me they still have hope that fresh off a win in Indiana, Bernie Sanders has a chance to win the nomination. One supporter told me the reason he came here today is to be part of the revolution.
Bernie Sanders cares about the further betterment of our nation. He understands that we have a crumpled political system, and he's the one fighting for a true change to get it all fixed up. And if there's anybody should be considering voting for president right now, it's Bernie Sanders.
Now, there's a good crowd here today, and they're still coming in. At this point, I have to tell you, Heritage Hall is filling up fast. Live in Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Garrett, thank you. Now, coming up at 6:30 on the CBS Evening News, Scott Pelley will be talking to Bernie Sanders about his decision to stay in the race through the Democratic convention.
New tonight, Lexington Catholic High School is now working with local and national diversity experts following some race-related issues at the school. School leaders say they will partner with a team led by Dr. Roger Cleveland and the WY Revolution firm. They say the team will come up with an initiative to reinforce the school's commitment to a culture of respect for diversity. In the last month, some students have said they were harassed because of their race. Well, it wasn't the way some state government employees expected to start their day.
Some pipes burst at the Department of Insurance in Frankfort, leaving standing water on 2 floors. As Phil Pendleton tells us, new at 6, crews now have a big mess to clean up.
Quite the surprise this morning as nearly 100 workers sent home at the Kentucky Department of Insurance on Main Street in downtown Frankfort after something caused some pipes to burst, leaving a lot of water over 2 different floors.
They were wading through water here on the first floor. There's also water on the second floor and in the elevator areas.
It's not clear what caused the problem or the exact extent of the damages. A lot of computers were damaged, but officials say permanent files are stored at another location off-site. The 90 employees were not able to work at the offices Wednesday.
The downtown facility is the only one that's impacted. We do have another facility on Leewood Drive where some testing is given to folks, and that one is not impacted.
Cleanup crews were busy trying to remove the water, and fans were running throughout to help dry it out.
I'm not exactly sure. It was a plumbing issue, apparently. Again, the main thing is to get all the water out.
As you were able to see, there was a lot of work taking place to try to clean this water up. There is no timetable, though, on when it will be cleaned up and when these 90 employees will be able to come back to work. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Investigators tell us that the plumbing problem happened on the second floor with water dripping down to the first floor.
Evangelist Franklin Graham drawing thousands of people to the state capitol today. Next, why he spent the day in Kentucky.
And then how a part of Lexington's bourbon history will soon be returning home.
The average teenager sends over 100 text messages a day. But does your son or daughter know how easy it is for their texts to come back to haunt them? The side of texting you rarely think about. Thursday at 6 on WKYT.
Three new kinds of jaw-dropping primetime burgers, only at Frisch's Big Boy.
Kentucky Lottery jackpot sequence has been initiated. Prepare for current jackpot amount.
Wednesday's Powerball jackpot is $348 million.
Central Equipment and Kubota, 2 names synonymous with quality. In 1982, our family business, Central Equipment, began selling Kubota equipment. Today, we've expanded our offerings to include the full line of Kubota products, from mowing and compact tractors to hay equipment, spreaders, utility vehicles, and large tractors for your farm. This season, trust the experts at Central Equipment and see the latest lineup of Kubota products with 0% financing available.
Even though I was the one with cancer, it was never only about me. Cancer didn't stand a chance with all the strength and support I had on my side.
At Ephraim McDowell Commonwealth Cancer Center, we're doing much more than treating a disease. We're healing people.
It was a journey, but I was never alone. This is my second family.
Expert care has never been more personal. Ephraim McDowell Commonwealth Cancer Center.
I'm a survivor, and I'm better now than I ever was before. Thank you.
At Central Bank, we like to call ourselves your friendly neighborhood financial experts because we get to help an entire community of customers achieve their financial dreams. So whether you're opening a checking account or buying your first home, you've got a team of local experts to coach you all the way.
Wow.
See what 70 years of experience can do for your financial future with Central Bank.
How many times are you going to drive off with those things?
Official bank of UK Athletics.
Hey, man. Who do you think Captain D was?
Captain D was actually regional semi-pro hockey captain Doug LaCour. Fueled by his voracious love of seafood, Doug would punch holes in the ice with his bare hands for a mid-practice snack.
Hey! Woo! You're full of it.
He sure is, Paul. Full of Captain D's Southern-style whitefish, topped with a special blend of Nashville hot seasonings for our Nashville hot fish. For full meals at just $4.99, it's gotta be D's.
Who is Lexington Blue? I know. Do you? Check them out on Facebook.
Save now on gorgeous carpet from Karastan during the National Karastan Month and receive up to $1,000 rebate. No interest financing till January 2018. Kevin's Carpets in Lexington and Georgetown. While you'd have to be crazy to buy flooring anyplace else.
3 new kinds of jaw-dropping primetime burgers, only at Frisch's Big Boy.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Today, thousands of people showed up at the state capitol in Frankfurt to hear Franklin Graham speak.
The evangelist brought his Decision America tour to Kentucky. He says he's upset with politics in this country, and he's not voicing support for any of the presidential candidates. Graham called on people in attendance to make a difference in their communities.
All across this country, people are fed up, and we're seeing it right here in Kentucky. People are fed up, and they realize that the only hope is God.
Graham says he plans to take his Decision America tour to all 50 states.
New tonight, a historic Lexington company is returning home to the city's distillery district. The James E. Pepper Distilling Company has been making bourbon since the company closed in 1958, but the brand is returning, and the bourbon will be made in the company's original home on Manchester Street. The company's new owners say they're excited about reviving a brand that dates back to the American Revolution.
It was a fantastic opportunity to bring the brand back to its rightful home. And it was a great collaboration, team effort to do that.
The Pepper Distillery plans to open sometime in mid to late 2017.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Putting the wraps on our middle of the work week Wednesday on a chilly and a damp note, and in some cases it's a stormy note out there. Did I mention it's chilly? Look at the numbers across central and eastern Kentucky. 50 degrees right now, Somerset, with some hail on the ground. 50 into Mount Sterling as well. Most areas could not get out of the 50s today, even as we started out the day with beautiful blue skies. The sky in Lexington is now looking a little better. Kind of has a little tropical look to it, doesn't it? Got very cold air aloft. Get a peak of sunshine. All of a sudden, the atmosphere begins to bubble up. 57 degrees out at the airport right now. Winds are coming at us from the northwest, 10 miles an hour. Let's look at the skies. Notice how we have a little more sun. Frankfort, Louisville, down to E-Town, and into parts of central Kentucky. Then you get to Corbin. It's cloudy. Eastern Kentucky, more in the way of clouds. And yes, thunderstorms working across the southern parts of the area. Defender Radar Network tracking a little bit of hail here into southern parts of the Wayne County area. Actually, this whole line of thunderstorms has some small hail with it where the icons are located, showing where you may have up to marble-size hail. Just to the south of Powersburg, that extends to the northeast. Southern tip here of Pulaski County. That is heading into McCreary County. Folks around Burnside had some of those hail-producing thunderstorms rolling through there just a few minutes ago. That is just to the southeast here on 27. That'll continue to work its way toward the Sawyer and Honeybee area of McCreary County. A little farther to the east, London. Give you fair warning a few minutes ago that you had some hail coming your way, and likely going to see at least some small hail covering the ground here into most of Laurel County. To the northeast, some general run-of-the-mill showers that may have some small hail with them. Lexington Metro beginning to clean the skies up a little bit. Big area of low pressure, eastern part of the Ohio Valley. Ugly conditions coming in behind that bad boy. End of the day tomorrow. Can we pretty it up a little bit? Nope. Upper 30s to around 40. Upper 30s to around 40 to begin the day tomorrow. Afternoon temperatures mainly stuck into the 50s. We're going to see at least a threat for some showers and some thunderstorms. So this afternoon had this line of thunderstorms working into eastern Kentucky. Now let's go fast forward south. 11 this evening, upper 40s. Tomorrow morning, mix of clouds and some stars, and upper 30s to low 40s, and then watch the showers begin to come at us from the northeast. That's right, coming at us against the grain, especially second half of tomorrow. Just like today, I could see a little small hail with some of those showers. Tomorrow evening, things begin to calm down a little bit. That takes us into Kentucky Oaks Day. Likely to start out with clouds into eastern Kentucky and a leftover shower. And look at the number it does on the temperatures. Low 60s southeast, pushing 65 to 70 into parts of central Kentucky. How about those Derby Eve parties on Friday? Pretty good shape. Saturday rolls around, though. Hour by hour, 7 o'clock Saturday morning. Notice this little batch of some showers and thunderstorms trying to pop. That is on the leading edge of warmer air that shoots in here. And once that pattern begins to set up, as we go through late in the day Saturday and Sunday, we're going to see another stormy pattern that may throw some rounds of storms moving into the area starting at some point Saturday evening. Derby goers, it's going to be a close call on when that line of thunderstorms Saturday evening blows into Churchill Downs and the rest of the area. But once that pattern sets in, guys, it's on and off stuff into most of next week with temperatures 75 to 80 for those highs. Basically, it's May.
Get ready, right, for all that May will bring us.
Yeah, right now it's March. Next week it's May.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
And May in Kentucky means one thing. The field is now set, Rob, for Saturday's Derby.
Well, it is. We will have the post positions and the odds, and we'll hear from trainer Steve Asmussen, who will saddle 2 this weekend. And the ban is off on the satellite camps. Kentucky will take part in 3 states. That's next in sports.
First Alert Weather is brought to you by Columbia Gas of Kentucky.
This Friday, Ashley Home Store's doors open at 4 p.m. with massive savings through midnight. For 8 hours only, take up to 30% off store-wide or get 5 years no interest. Midnight Madness Friday only. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Welcome to Toyota Time. Tons of awesome vehicles. Great deals for everyone. Thanks. Low APR financing. Woo! Here's your balloon.
Coffee.
Shoulders. Water. I have the best team. Oh, here I come.
Now, during Toyota Time, get 0% financing on many of your favorite new Toyotas. Or get a great low lease deal. For all Toyota offers, go to buyatoyota.com.
Here you go. And here I go.
Toyota, let's go places.
Can you help me figure out what to plant in my front yard to help our curb appeal?
Sorry, I just started working here last week, so I'm not sure. Hey, can you help her find some plants?
Sorry, kid. I work in the plumbing department.
Can you help me figure out what to plant to help our curb appeal?
Piece of cake. First, you need a few dwarf boxwoods over there. Supplement those with a crate. Take your curb appeal to the next level. At King's Gardens, we share your passion for plants.
Life is easy here. And now you can make it even easier with a home equity line of credit from Republic Bank. Even if your mortgage isn't with us, you can get a below-prime 2.99% 12-month introductory fixed interest rate with an ongoing variable rate thereafter and no closing costs. Pay off higher loan rates, manage unexpected expenses, or make a home improvement or 2. Stop by your nearest Republic Banking Center and talk to an associate today. We're Republic Bank, and it's just easier here.
If you've been injured on the job, do yourself and your family a favor. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about all of your legal rights. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
When you're building your dream house, you want to make sure you're doing it right. It's a big job. But the Touchstone Energy Home Program can show you how to make your new place energy efficient, economical, and comfortable. We'll help you put together the home of your dreams while you save up to 30% in energy costs. You can even qualify for a rebate from your local energy cooperatives. It's easier than you think. So talk to us today about your dream home of tomorrow. Fleming, Mason, and Clark Energy, your Touchstone Energy cooperatives.
The madness begins at 4 p.m. this Friday at Ashley Home Store. For 8 hours only, save up to 30% off store-wide. Like this queen bed for only $349 and this sofa now $489. Friday only, 4 p.m. to midnight. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Who is Lexington Blue? You still don't know? Check them out on Facebook.
The field is now set for Derby 142. About a half hour ago, Nyquist was installed as the 3-1 favorite. Long shot Trojan Nation is on the rail. Sudden breaking news next to him. Creator is at 10-1. Then Mo Tom, another long shot. Gunrunner at 10-1. Then it's My Man Sam, Oscar nominated. Lonnie, Destin, and Whitmore. Exaggerator will come out of the 11 hole. He's the early second choice at 8-1. Tom's Ready has post 12. The favored Nyquist, trained by Doug O'Neill, post 13 at 3-1. Mo Heyman is next to him at 10-1. Then Outwork, Shagaff, Bob Baffert's horse, More Spirit, 12-1 on the morning line. Majesto has the 18. Brody's Cause the 19. And Dancing Candy is on the extreme outside. Louisville-based trainer Steve Asmussen has saddled 13 Derby horses. He has never won the race. He has 2 contenders heading into Saturday in a year that has already been very special for him. Dick Gabriel has the story.
Gunrunner is one of the now horses, basically because he passes the eyeball test. And as you watch him gallop over the Churchill Downs track, it's easy to forget he is coming in off a victory in the Louisiana Derby.
After he won the Louisiana Derby, we felt that, what we had talked about earlier, the time, the spacing, that it was going our way. And Ron asked, will he be where we want him to be in 6 weeks or 6 months? And we're on top of that. That question's about to be answered.
And as well as he ran there, plus winning the Risen Star Stakes, Asmussen says the Son of Candy ride may be even better now.
I think that his progression has been very good starting from last year. Always had a lot of talent. I think physically he has continued to develop, and with that he's gotten a little stronger, a little faster all along.
Asmussen also will saddle Creator. All he did last time out was win the Arkansas Derby. Just a few weeks ago, Asmussen learned he'll be inducted into the Racing Hall of Fame. And if he can follow that up with his first Kentucky Derby victory, that would be one heck of an exacta.
If you're in horse racing, you're a dreamer. I mean, that's why we're here, and you imagine the best possible scenario at all times. And I feel, very good about both the horses we have going for this year's Derby and the condition in which they're in now. I'm very proud of the team for getting us to this place.
From Churchill Downs in Louisville, Dick Gabriel, WKYT.
UK coach Mark Stoops confirming on the SEC teleconference this morning that UK will hold several satellite camps in 3 states. Last week, the NCAA Board of Governors removed a ban on the camps, which have become kind of a trend in college football recruiting. Kentucky will take part.
I don't think we'll overdo it. We want to continue to get players on our campus throughout the summer, and our coaches work very hard to get prospects on our campus at our camps, and so we want to continue to work that angle as well. But we will take part. We'll do several in Florida. We'll do a couple in Ohio and one in Georgia as well.
So that is the latest on recruiting. Sam Amber, back to you.
Thank you, Rob. A final check of your First Alert forecast is next.
Then on the CBS Evening News, President Obama pays a visit to Flint, Michigan, as that city tries to deal with its water crisis.
WKYT's First Alert Weather follows you wherever you go, on TV, online, on your phone, and throughout the day on Mix 94.5.
Are you digging a garden? Are you putting up a mailbox? Always call 811 before you dig. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. Columbia Gas of Kentucky.
Hi, I'm David Clark. All funeral homes offer cremation services, but Clark Legacy Center offers on-site cremations. When it comes to cremation services, that puts us in a league of our own. With Clark Legacy Center's on-site crematory, families have our assurance that once you entrust us with your loved one, they never leave our care. We don't offer our crematory to other funeral homes, allowing us to give families total confidence and peace of mind. For answers to all of your cremation questions, contact Clark Legacy Center today.
Step right up for something fun. For just $1, the excitement's begun. The game's called Keno, and you can play it in an alley. Or you can play it with your best friend, Sally. You can play it here or there. You can play it almost anywhere. Play with many numbers or just a few. How you play is all up to you. You can put down a little or put down a lot. So what do you say? Give Keno a shot. Just pick your numbers and hope you win, and a few minutes later, you can play it again. Now you can play Keno wherever Kentucky Lottery games are sold, fueling imagination, funding education.
What if there was a place where you could test drive John Deere equipment, talk to product experts, and get special coupons worth hundreds off tractors, gators, and more? Well, you found it. It's Drive Green Demo Days, and it's here. The fun starts now.
Meet Tractor, now open at London Farm Service. Join us the week of May 9th for our Drive Green event and grand opening.
We're farmers. We're business owners. We're moms and dads. We're neighbors. We're you. We're your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. And
we've been helping members like you save energy and money for decades with our energy efficiency programs. Find out how you can start saving today. Cumberland Valley Electric and South Kentucky RECC, your Kentucky Touchstone Energy Cooperatives.
The new Royal Blizzard is a blizzard breakthrough. But what's the science behind the fudge suspended inside? Let's begin. Cross-teleportation. Uh-oh. Centrifugal force?
It's not working.
Liquid nitrogen? Lasers?
Guys, I actually filled the blizzard with fudge.
Science! Experience the all-new Royal Blizzard lineup, like the Royal Oreo filled with a vortex of creamy fudge for a blizzard breakthrough. This is fan food, not fast food.
Are you planting a tree? Are you digging a swimming pool? Always call 811 before you dig. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. Columbia Gas of Kentucky.
All right, the weather is trying to shake out a little bit better as we look towards the end of the week.
Yeah,
right?
you got to get there, and unfortunately, it's still ugly out there. Look at southern Kentucky, hail-producing showers and thunderstorms lining up from London back to the southwest, heading into Corbin and on top of the McCreary County area, Whitley City, heading into Whitley County over the next little bit. Give that another half hour, and the majority of that's out of the state.
All right, we appreciate you watching tonight. The CBS Evening News with Scott Pelley is next.
We'll see you back here at 11. Have a good one.